Hey guys, Top Tier Gaming here, and today we're coming at you with the top 6 structure decks of all time. These are whether it released good reprints for the game that hadn't been seen before, or if it released a deck that even from a structure deck that cost $10 could handle the meta or take it over completely, which is really good for cheap Yu-Gi-Oh, which is really important, we think. So at number 6 we have the Monarch structure deck. So this structure deck released Gravekeeper reprints, which is nice, released Lava Golem again. Not anything too game-changing, but it released the first reprint of Mirror Force. I remember being on YouTube at 2010 or 11 when this was released, maybe a little bit. No, it was 2000.
Early 11,
yeah.
Late 10, 2010-ish.
Somewhere around there. And people were going crazy over the fact that Mirror Force was going from Ultra to Common. Mirror Force had been a $40 card somewhere around there for a long time, and suddenly it was getting a common reprint, which was great for the game. Everyone could run Mirror Force. This is when it was relevant and at one for being a really strong card, and that was just huge for the game overall.
And at the time, during the Monarch structure deck release, it coincided with the it coincided with the release of Gravekeeper's Recruiter and Descendant. I remember a couple weeks after the structure deck came out, Frazier Smith won at YCS Atlanta with this deck. The Gravekeeper deck with those new cards and the structure deck cards got first, second, and third at that YCS. It was very strong.
I know that. That's pretty good.
Number 5, we have the Chaos Dragon structure deck, which introduced Light Pulsar, and it's what was the other dark one? Dark Pulse?
Dark Flare.
Dark Flare Dragon.
Also Red MD reprint.
Yeah, the Red MD reprint was huge.
Yeah.
The reprint had some Lightsworn cards, Lila, I think Lumina charges Common, charge the Light Brigade. Yeah. It introduced a rival to the Rabbit deck of 2012. Yeah. Chaos Dragons gave it a huge rival in being so much bigger than Lagia or Dolka or any other monsters. If you could get around the spells and trap cards of the Dino Rabbit deck, you just win by sheer brute force.
Yeah, they were big, and there were a lot of them. You negated one Pulsar, another Pulsar would come out.
And Pulsar brings Red MD back. It's insane.
It also changed the triangle format, which was considered awful, to more like a rectangle, which was better.
Yeah.
So number 4, we have the Machina Mayhem structure deck. This reprinted the gadgets, which, they needed reprints, but also a really good card, D-Prison. D-Prison was hard to get. It was pretty expensive because of the super rare, and having a D-Prison reprint was really nice. And then it released the Machinas, which Machina Fortress was a good boss monster for a long time. He was played in many decks, and then he kind of phased out, and then Yugioh came out and people ran that version. He was just a really strong card overall, and one of my favorite boss monsters because of how strong he was.
It was rivaling the Quid Draw Danny Warrior deck at the time.
Yeah,
at the last Shonen Jump Championship, Jeff Jones won with Quid Draw Danny Warrior, but the Machina Gadget deck got second, which was unheard of at the time because no structure deck has ever gone that far. Number 3, we have the Dark World structure deck. Not only did we get the powerhouse that is Grapha, their field spell, Gates of the Dark World. We get the Eradicator Epidemic Virus reprint. Got Dark Bribe reprint. We got most of the, if not all of the Dark Worlds.
Yeah, we got Tragodia reprint, Battle Fader reprint. There was a lot of good cards.
The deck,
Terraforming.
Yeah, the deck was. You didn't want to play against it. It's one of those lose your friends decks.
Yeah,
because they knew everything you had and nothing you could do about it.
Really recent after it came out, it won a YCS.
It won the biggest YCS in history.
Yeah,
the 100
because they were giving out that free mat, and then it won. Tour Guide was played in it, so not everyone could run it since Tour Guide was expensive. But the deck overall was really strong.
And it abused Skill Drain a lot better than many other decks.
And everyone who ran open 3 Reckless Greed, because that's just how it works. So number 2, we have the new Monarch structure deck. So this deck has been pretty much relevant for the last 5 months or so. Yep. It's a super strong deck. Ether and Erebus are incredibly powerful cards. And the Prime Monarch is a super strong...
Pantheism. Being a dumb card.
It has 2 ways to play it, too. It has the Domain for, we played that for a while, but then we sort of decided that the Xyz version is slightly better. It has more plays, the Prime Monarch is ridiculous, and people are playing Xyz Monarchs as one of the best decks this format by far.
Oh, yeah. It's one of the top. It's in the top 5, top 3 for sure.
It's a super strong deck.
What they did is they took D-Draw and they slapped like 3 other effects on it. And they said
Pantheism is the D-Draw that banishes and is recycled.
It searches more and it gets banished. And you bring it back with the idea.
Super powerful card.
At number 1, we have a structure deck that won Worlds. It combated the Plant Synchro deck in 2011 and came out on top. We're talking about the Agent structure deck. It had a Solemn Judgment reprint.
That was super important.
That was very important.
Yes.
I think it was like the 3rd time it got reprinted because the second time it was like
it was
a really convoluted set.
Like I thought it was like a rare out of a certain set.
Like a Dark Beginning set or something like that.
I could be wrong.
But it came with Earth. The Age of Mystery Earth was a tuner, level 2 tuner that on normal summon search for another agent from the deck besides itself.
Tuner Stratos.
Yeah, the Tuner Stratos, and then. Master Hyperion, one of the greatest boss monsters of all time. He just banish an agent and then banish to summon himself, and then banish a fairy and graveyard to pop a card on the field once returned. It was insane. It had many plays, especially the TG variants were really popular. The Tour Guide Chaos version was very popular if you could get Tour Guides at the time.
Yeah. So that was the top 6 structure decks we think in Yu-Gi-Oh! History. In the comments, leave your favorite structure deck or how you think this list should have been ordered or anything you want to leave there. We'll make sure to read it. Like this video, subscribe. This was Top Tier Gaming by YouTube.